I think that confirms very important things in the politics of this country in relation to media and the ZBC. Something that I think that is so revealing, which I think the world of Zimbabwean people were not aware of, myself included. Because on one end he speaks on behalf of ZANU, and on the other he doesn't. But what is clear is, for me,
he is
the following
as a supporter
issues.
though.
Yeah, here are the following issues. Number one, and I need to help him on the question around Zimbabwe being a constitutional democracy. And for me, Zimbabwe is a de jure constitutional democracy and a de facto one-party state. So the reason why we make complaints about the conduct of the commission, the conduct of the judiciary, is because we are conscious of our moral and constitutional obligation that we must cite. And we do this because it's got a bearing on the stability of the country. So when we say there is a problem with the commission and there is no redress, when we go to the court and the court clearly gives a political judgment, it's something that speaks to the issue that is raised, whether it's Zimbabwe a constitutional democracy. A constitutional democracy is a case not just of the theory or the document that we've got a constitution that is supreme. Are we practicing the constitution? Is the judiciary in this country independent? Is the executive able to respect the legislative arm of government? Definitely not. The legislature in this country cannot hold the executive to account. And that is the basis for us of defining whether Zimbabwe is a constitutional democracy or not. There is no respect of rule of law in this country. There is rule by law in Zimbabwe. So we can't say when we've got a complaint as a contestant in the political processes, we go to the courts and the courts give a political judgment. And ZANU, in his own warped narrative, said that you guys must accept it because you have gone to the court. We are exhausting domestic remedies because we respect the existence of the court. But it doesn't mean that the court is fair in this country. There are plethora of evidence in this country that proves beyond any scientific doubt that the judiciary is not independent in this country. Something which is why we are talking about reforms. Because they are very important so that the judiciary is able to operate outside executive influence in this country. And I want to respond on the question of coverage. I'm happy that my sister has given facts as they are. That 70% of ZBC's coverage were about not the state programs, ZANU-PF, because the problem which is confirming right again about coverage and ZBC's political objective is conflation of ZANU-PF and government, the conflation of ZANU-PF and state institutions, which are supposed to be independent. He's confirming clearly here that there shouldn't be no difference between a constitutionally independent institution and ZANU-PF, which is the predominant problem that we face across the entire problem. If you look at what was happening in our political rallies, the police will say we are not giving you a go-ahead of you to do a political rally. What you would see in the caucus, and I'll give an example of Marondia, in the caucus of the hierarchy of the police office would be as a non-ZANU-PF person making the decision whether should we allow them to go ahead or not, which is why we made a political decision as an alternative that ZANU, our political committee, can determine whether we go forward with a rally or not. Because it's clear, it's proven beyond any doubt that the conflation of ZANU-PF and the Zimbabwe Republic Police is a problem in this country, and it's got a bearing in terms of having free, fair and credible election, the same as media. That the conflation between a journalist, a reporter of ZBC and a ZANU-PF person, there's no different. Follow them on the internet space. The narrative that directly comes from the political leadership in this country is the same narrative that you get even from government employees. I'll give an example of Nick Mangwana. You want to differentiate between Nick Mangwana and Chris Mutswango. One is a spokesperson of a political party, the other is a government spokesperson who should be speaking on the agenda and intentions of government, which is a problem.
Let me bring